I did not fight back as the feral animal cut open one of my eyes and raked my face into bleeding shreds.
Hey, spooky siblings. Monsters are real. Ghosts are real too. They live inside us.
Hey, spooky siblings. Welcome to Scary Mondays. My name is Red.
And I'm Polty.
And this is Left on Red. Department of Insults by D.L. Schindler. I aimed my gun at her face and pulled the trigger. I wasn't sorry. When I walked out of the Chamber of Echoes, there were already police waiting to arrest me. They told me to drop the gun and to lay flat on the ground with my hands palms down, and then they came to me, took my gun and put handcuffs on me, all at gunpoint. I hadn't heard them because my ears were ringing still. I just knew the procedure and obeyed. When they had me in custody, I said, "I have a license to kill," very calmly and matter-of-factly.
Wait a minute. I thought we were reading a horror story. But instead, this is all...
Bond. James Bond.
It took about 30 minutes before they were certain they had to let me go. I was uncuffed and my gun was returned to me. I walked away while the cops glared at my back. I'd abused my power by killing her for personal reasons. My license would probably get revoked. When I got home, I fed my cat and took a shower. I don't have any friends, mostly because I kill people for a living. It is distasteful, but someone has got to do it. I contacted my department supervisor and reported what I had done. "You're on suspension until we sort this out. If nobody claims they wanted her dead in 24 hours, you know what's going to happen." "Yeah, I will lose my license," I replied. "You will lose your job, Gerald. Your job is at stake. You were a killer. Who is going to hire you?" "I will find work," I promised.
Are you sure? I wonder what this dude's LinkedIn looks like. Last time I checked, killing wasn't that marketable. Learn UX design or something, buddy.
I searched for work and was rejected over and over. There were no reasons offered as to why. It is illegal to say negative things to or about someone. There was a way to communicate something offensive, but only through professional services such as the Department of Insults. An employer isn't going to pay to say that, what they really think of an applicant. They just simply say, "No, thank you." 6 months later, I was on my last check, and I had gained a lot of weight. I had gotten fired, and nobody would hire me because I was a killer. I was finally sorry I had shot her.
Classic. Only sorry because you have to face consequences. Hey, Red, would I too have to go via Department of Insults to say how much I despise this guy?
Maybe, but we could just put a spell on him instead. So much more efficient. Anyway, back to the story. There was a knock on my door and I wondered if I was to be killed. I was definitely on the list of people who had it coming. Nobody likes killers, not even the clients. Gerald Dim. There was a girl in a singing telegram uniform. She wasn't there to sing to me. She was delivering something else. That is me, yes. I took a deep breath and waited for it. God, here it comes, I thought. She showed me her authorization for what she was about to say and gave me a yellow copy. Then she let me have it. You are an unemployed, animal-neglecting, friendless, reckless, overweight, mentally unstable, unintelligent, unattractive, heterosexual male with no future. She carefully recited while attempting to maintain eye contact and sound sincere.
Whoa, what? Someone else sent the insult message on my behalf? Read that again.
I'd rather not, Polty. I sighed. It was an expensive insult. Someone had gone all out on me. I was flattered. I nodded at her and gave a weak smile. She smiled back and turned to go as I closed my door. The words began to sink in, and I became upset. I hadn't felt so ashamed and horrible in a long time. Every syllable was carefully crafted and researched to do the maximum psychological damage to me. I went through stages of anger and outrage and then self-loathing and depression. I deserved this, I told myself. I had to get psychiatric help to deal with the haunting cadence of those painful words. It took me almost a year before I was capable of looking at myself, and by then I was evicted and sent to a government work program called Clean Streets.
Well, as they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can freaking annihilate me.
I got paid in crumbs and seconds. Food and lodging from the government require work credit, and it is lousy work. I picked up people's trash from the side of the road, and the automated fines they paid for littering covered the expense of feeding and housing me. As I worked, my state of mind was dangerously self-deprecating. While I hated myself, I began to love my work. I was suited to work the public as its slowest servant, after a life of power and privilege. That was the most acceptable thought I had about myself. The woman I killed was famous for her political accomplishments. I just didn't like her because she had used her authority to say negative things about killers. I was a proud killer at the time, and I had overstepped my own authority when I went into the Chamber of Echoes and shot her. I had not had proper authorization, and worse, I had done it for personal reasons. I saw a cat that looked like the one they had taken away from me. I crawled and I approached her. She hissed menacingly and leapt up to my face. I did not fight back as the feral animal cut open one of my eyes and raked my face into bleeding shreds. I kinda liked it. She ran off, still caterwauling madly.
Yeah, let's not put a spell on him after all. This is plain pathetic, dude. Seriously, learn to code, or wax armpits.
My old department supervisor was behind me, and when I turned around with my ruined eye and mutilated face, he just laughed at me. "You look fantastic," he said, with legal wording that, while positive, was still sarcastic. "What do you want?" I asked. "You don't have time for an old friend." He looked hurt. Pretend hurt. "I don't have any friends," I stated. I was in pain and I was bleeding. I could only see him with my left eye. "This is a job I wanted to do personally." He smiled for me and produced his gun. "Careful," I warned him. "This is how I got this way." "How does it feel?" he asked. I had never felt the way I did in that moment. I realized I was terrified. I presumed he was there to kill me. I realized that despite my fall and my past, I did not want to die. I had found peace eating tasteless food and picking up garbage for a living. I had grown to care about my life, in my humiliation. I want to live, I blubbered. I was crying and bleeding and shaking with dread. That is good. This is a recruitment offer. You were selected as someone who understands human nature. He offered me a scroll with a red ribbon on it. I don't understand. I was still very afraid. I had just experienced all the death I had delivered as I looked at his gun. He had shown it to me to upset me, knowing I would recognize the moment I had given to so many people during my career. Now I knew what it felt like to face certain and sudden death. But death had not released me. He was leaving me there. I told them you were suitable, he said, while walking away and leaving me there. I opened the scroll. It was an actual employment offer. The Department of Insults had come for me again. I tore it apart. With deliberate dutifulness, I began to pick up each scrap and place them in my waste collection. I continued my work, ignoring the pain in my cheeks. I felt human again.
Ah, I love a good redemption arc. Good for you, buddy. Now, next steps. Learn how to code, make your website, like Book of Faces,
where people can argue in their own echo chambers without even giving a thought about how they might be impacting other people's lives.
Wait, echo chambers? Chambers of echo... Oh, I get it now. D.L. Schindler, you absolute genius.
And that was Scary Mondays, Spooktober edition.
Until next time.
My name is Red, and this is Left on Red. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and press the bell notification button so that you get notified every time Polty and I upload a new video. Until next time.